So many people want to know how much I get paid from Samsung or Hisense or any of the other brands that get a popular rating. Well, I'm going to break the ice by just saying I don't get paid anything from anyone. In fact, I'm one of those people that do something quite rare on social media with a following of this size, which is I don't sell anything, I share positive experiences that I have or brands that I believe in, and I just share those products with everyone that I think could benefit from it. It's a weird concept when there's so much money to be made in social media, but I did want to preface by saying this. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about the QD-Oled experience, and particularly my first experience with this technology and what it's been like. Initially, there's always concerns of burn-in. There's concerns that it didn't have the heat sink on the Samsung S95B like the step-up Sony A95K would have. And a lot of people immediately wrote this TV off, said it was just not going to be worth it. And then they started to see what the image quality was like. And then the narrative changed from the heat sink being the problem to, oh, well, they're just oversaturated and really cartoony. Now, many still stick with this as their notion because either A, they don't know that you can turn saturation on a television down so low that it could literally turn into a black and white TV, or B, they just really love their brand of choice and they don't want anyone to convince, sway, or try to show them of another way where technology can move forward past what their mind limits them to. See, this is the problem with a lot of modern technology. It really doesn't matter what you look at. You can look at telephones, laptops, cars, really. There's always going to be a faction of person that feels that you're just bought and paid off by the opposing brand, because how could anyone like the opposing brand, right? Like, it's a weird thing, I know, but people do this a lot. And this tribal mentality really does stunt their own ability to enjoy the true best on the market. Now, I've done multiple videos talking about the Samsung S95B and QD-Oled as a technology, and I have never stood behind, go watch my older videos, behind any technology more than I have with QD-Oled. And the reason for that is because truly when you combine the black level benefit of OLED and the color advantage of quantum dot, previously exclusive only to LED technology, and the brightness capability, again, previously only exclusive to LED technology, you're in for something that just has never been done before. And when you look at things like the 96% BT 2020 color coverage or something like that, it's just absolute, no, it's 90% BT 2020 color coverage. It's still astronomical to the point where we have no TVs on the market outside of what Samsung is doing that provides that level, right? And it gets to such a staggering, like, just shock and awe moment where you're just like, this is actually something that's pretty incredible. But when you see it in play and in work, that's where the magic happens. Like when I'm on PC and I'm gaming and I'm using 1440p with BT 2020 or 12-bit color being forced through the PC through the NVIDIA graphics card, that's where I see all the sauce happen. And I don't think until you actually try to tap into that extra power and see what your TV can do, like, for example, having a Blu-ray player that can force those 16 bits, 12 bits of color output, like, that is just the greatest movie experience you are probably ever going to have, especially when coupled with a silky smooth, locked 24p. And I think more people will start to see this as time goes on. Now, again, we can't deal with those who always have a rebuttal as to why their brand is the best, but what I can say is when the true best actually shows itself, it is undeniable. And I can safely say Quantum.OLED and my experience with it as a first-timer, like many others experiencing this technology for the first time ever, has been just mind-blowing. I found myself going back and watching things I'd seen 1,000 times, and it looks entirely different than when I watch it on any other TV, including a WOLED, which I currently own the LG OLED C1. Stay tuned for more videos on that. But I can say it's been one of those things that you really do have to see it to believe the amount of vibrancy that kicks off of a proper Quantum.OLED. Now, I say proper because at the time of shooting this video, there already is a step-down version of Quantum.OLED with the Sony S90C, which is the step-down from the S95B. Now, the S90 is targeted to be a more affordable variation of QD-OLED, but it does see a reduction in the saturation and vibrancy of the quantum dot filtering. Now, that is a problem in my opinion because I feel like QD-OLED needs to have more of a footing first before they start attempting to downgrade or remove things that made it absolutely amazing. But again, that's just my take on this whole thing. Maybe somebody else's will be different, and that's the other part of this that I can't control. and really don't want to. There are people with a ton of different opinions on this topic. Some people are going to agree with me. Some people are really just not going to rock with what I say, and that's totally cool. But I can safely say, no matter who you watch or where you're watching it, you're watching my opinion when you're on this video. And my opinion is simply that if you really, like we're not talking about kind of sort of maybes or like you're a little uncertain. If you want to see the absolute best your money can provide you for the dollar amount, you are either going to save up and get yourself a Quantum.OLED or put it on a credit card and just make slowly monthly installments on it because it's worth it, right? And I don't say this about TVs because I'm around them all the time. It takes a lot to impress me, especially. I am not the normal person when we talk about TV standards. Many people will be happy with something that's a slight upgrade from where they are, where my standards are like way higher than that. And I can safely say when you start to look into it and you start to see what Quantum.OLED can provide, it's just mind-boggling and dazzling. And I just wanted to let you guys know that the best experience on television right now is going to be found with Quantum.OLED. I really don't care even who the manufacturer is at this point. Currently, Samsung is the best, but the Sony A95K does have a gorgeous picture as well. Now, there's other conversations that need to happen, like motion processing, and again, I will be showing all this stuff off. The more that we start going through and showing the differences between these QD-OLEDs, you'll start to see where Sony's motion is bad, as I show, but of course, people are going to try to deny it because they'll tell you, turn off all the motion processing to mask it and hide it. But again, that's a conversation for later during more of our transparent reviews that I'm known here for. But that being said, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think QD-OLED is worth your time? And if not, why? Thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.